This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hello, hello. It is the After Party Live, and you have it on a Trivia Thursday. Woo! It's going to be fun. I have 3 topics. We might not get to all 3, so I'm going to let you guys choose as we get a little bit closer. I saw this message from teacher Lori, who is spearheading the effort regarding the Audiocaster of the Year. Again, thanks to Clark Reed for the nomination. And Lori writes, Kim is in 4th place in the Bay Area Audiocaster of the Year contest. Please, everyone, keep voting. Even if you only know Kim from this show, vote for Kim. We can get her to 3rd by July 1st. Well, teacher Lori has had some success, I think, because 4th place is looking pretty good. Look at the new vote totals. Every day they put up the latest standings, and we are in 4th, this little show, this After Party Live, in 4th place with 7,546 votes and 9% of the vote. How cool is that? Now the top vote getter has almost 30,600 votes, a little more than that, pushing 31,000. So that's Danny Wright. But we're climbing up there. I think we're doing pretty well. 7,546 at 9%. I put the link to vote. This is one of these informal things where you can vote as many times as you want, as many times a day as you want, from now all the way through July 1st. So you can vote a couple times a day if you should think of it. I know you have probably more important things to do, but as you're sitting here watching the show or the Mark Thompson show, open another window and, click a few times. That would be helpful to get that vote up. The problem is, if we don't keep voting, then we won't stay at 4th place. We might sink down because that guy, Steve Fox, seems to be right on our tail. Anyway, thank you for voting. If you are so inclined, I do appreciate it. Glenn says, I just voted too. A podium finish would be awesome. I don't know if we're going to get 3rd. That Aaron Axelson guy from Live 105, he's got 14% of the vote. I guess that there's a possibility we could catch him. I don't know. But thank you. Wes says, it's rigged. Danny doesn't say much during his show, just beer 30 on Thursdays. Well, he seems to be doing well. I don't know. But thank you for voting. I appreciate it. And I'll put the link in the chat one more time. I have to go, in order to get the right link, you have to go back to the page. The good thing about this voting is it doesn't seem to be one of those things where you have to enter your email address and, promise your firstborn child in order to have access to the voting. It's super simple. You just go to the website, click, and you're done. Or click several times and you're done. As many times as you want to vote. Hey, we're pretty cool. I didn't know about this. Well, thank you, Katie. And please vote early and often. Yeah. Glenn says, let's try for 3rd place. I like your can-do attitude, my friend. I'll vote for us once right now. There it is. See how easy it is? So there's someone else in the running for being in a vote, and this is the best chef vote. And Elise is running for that. I saw that she has the link on the Mark Thompson Show fan discussion Facebook page. So if you can vote for Elise, I had to enter my email address and stuff for that one, but it'd be really nice to get her in there. Yeah, I don't either. Then they send you spam, and I know, but I want Elise to win, so I belong to the Radio Museum. Excellent, Katie. Wonderful. After the party, I'm going to vote an S-load of times. I think they're not mutually exclusive. You can vote an S-load of times during the party. Before we get to trivia, let me get to the overcrossing, the animal wildlife crossing. It's not even finished yet here in California. It's a big one. Look how big that is. They're still working on it, but already animals are like, yeah, I think I'm going to use that. I think I like this whole not getting squished by cars situation. This is a new wildlife crossing here in Northern California. It's in Siskiyou County on Highway 97. They started building it last summer. No, summer of 2024. So the building's been going on for a while. But already, 3 deer have become the first animals to use this bridge. It's almost complete, but not quite. Caltrans calling this a major milestone, saying the contractor is still working on the finishing touches, but already wildlife is embracing this new structure, which is about 100 feet long and 140 feet wide. About 2 miles of 8-foot high wildlife exclusion fencing are along both sides of this highway. The reason they put that fencing in is because they want to funnel animals toward the crossing instead of funneling them toward the road. This has the project area, they say, has the highest recorded wildlife vehicle conflict rate in this district, Caltrans district, which is District 2, with more than 50 deer and 16 elk fatalities between 2015 and 2020. So the hope is that this new structure will allow safe passage for wildlife crossing the highway, that it will improve driver safety and ecological resistance, and they expect to finish it this fall. They've got another one a mile down the road, a wildlife tunnel they're building there. It's a reinforced concrete culvert, expand crossing opportunities for animals, they hope, and strengthen the effort to reduce the crashes along this roadway. It's not just the animals, it's the people too, right? That are hurt when these accidents happen. And the hope is that they could put even more wildlife crossings in the years ahead. And I think this is, as our realities encroach upon each other, wildlife habitats and human habitats kind of clash. This is a great way, I think, to coexist. It's funny, I was watching this movie last night with my son called Hopper, which is all about, the merge of human and animal habitats. And I love the idea of the wildlife bridge. I think it's a kind thing to do as long as they know to use it. And it looks like they're no fools. There's another one, by the way, a huge one in Southern California that is almost done. It's on the 101 freeway, or Highway 101, as we say in California, in Agora Hills, about 30 miles west of LA. That is, when it's done, will be the world's largest wildlife crossing of its kind. It spans 10 lanes of traffic. So when that's complete, it's going to be a big deal. Anyway, the deer are already using it up there in Siskiyou County. I love that. Another animal story for you. And these are our friends. We've been following these two, Jackie and Shadow, and we've watched their babies be born, and we've watched them fledge and pip and do all the eaglet things. Well, Jackie and Shadow need $10 million. Why, you might ask? The Friends of Big Bear is negotiating a deal to protect their habitat. This is why they are looking to fundraise. The Friends of Big Bear Valley nonprofit dedicated to conserving the land around Big Bear Lake in the San Bernardino Mountains. And they are the group that live streams Jackie and Shadow's nest and has really generated a lot of interest in these birds and goodwill toward them as well. They are really working to help preserve the area, to help these birds in the future. They say there used to be 20 to 35 visiting bald eagles that came to Big Bear Lake during the winter, and now it's down to 6 to 10 at the best. That's a big change. And bald eagles are increasing everywhere else. So this land is currently owned by RCK Properties, and they've been talking about development as far back as 2002. The San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors have met to discuss proposed development of more than 50 homes and a slip marina in this region more than 50 times. I want to take that back. I don't know how many times, several times. So there's this fundraising effort now to keep that from happening. The San Bernardino Mountain Land Trust has negotiated a limited purchase agreement with the developer, and they are now fundraising to purchase the land for its appraised value of $10 million. So far, they've raised $3 million. There's more than a month to go. So that's happening, and I hope they're very successful, because I would hate to see development in this area where these bald eagles are thriving. I have one more story before I have, well, a few more stories, but I want to do this story ahead of trivia because I think it's kind of cool. Do you believe that extraterrestrial life exists? Do you think it's already here? There's a new study out of CBS. They took a poll, and most Americans, this poll would indicate, believe that intelligent life exists on other planets. 1 in 5 think that extraterrestrial intelligent life has already made contact with us here on Earth. The government's recent release of UFO files may have touched all of this off. Here's the poll. I have to take down my alien and show you the poll results. Here's what it looks like. Okay, little alien, you gotta go. Is there intelligent life on other planets? 63% of those asked or that responded said, yeah, there's intelligent life on other planets. 37% said, no, there's not. As to the question, when will we have contact with intelligent life from other planets? 21% said we already have. 46% said in the future, and 33% said, yeah, that'll never happen. This CBS News YouGov poll looks at the percentage of people who believe there's intelligent life on other planets. 63% of people right now, this a bar on the left, 63% say, of course there's life on other planets. Right? I mean, that's kind of where I land. The universe is too huge for there not to be. I think there probably is. How would you feel about meeting beings from other planets? 67% of us say we're curious. 47% say we're nervous. 32% said we're excited. 31% said we're scared. 21% said we're vulnerable. And 14% said, I feel pretty calm about that. Where do you fall? I fall into the curious and scared. Oh, yeah. Ever seen what you thought was a UFO? 17% said, yep. 83% said, nope. What are UFOs? 51% of us said they might be alien spacecrafts. 49% said it's always natural, always human activity. There's always an explanation, right? Yeah. If you ask the people that believe there's life on other planets, 72% said they might be alien spacecrafts. Do the recent government UFO videos make you more likely to believe aliens visited Earth? Less likely to believe? No impact. 57% said no impact one way or the other. 84% of us think that the government knows more than they're telling us. That's telling right there. 84% of people think the government's in on the big secret. So again, that's the CBS YouGov poll on alien life. But that was interesting how what people have to say about that. I have one more alien picture to show you just because it's cool. He's waving bye-bye. All right, are you guys ready? Because it is time for Trivia Thursday. Here are my 3 categories for today. Hold on, I'm going to the chat, get myself all set up. Here we go. Okay. My categories for you today include by the decade in the 1900s. I have questions, and you have to guess what decade the story came from, I think. How that works. Next category is the world's worst disasters on the roads, the rails, and in the air. Are you well versed on the disasters, the biggest disasters in world history? I think a lot of you would get those. And then the other one is about birds. Birds with 4 letters. So it would be like lark has 4 letters. So the answers to the questions are all the names of birds with 4 letters. What do you think? Where do you want to start? I'm lucky if I get 2 questions, says Gordon. You probably get more than that, I would think. What do you want to do first? Disasters, 4-letter birds, or by the decade? 4-letter birds, and I'm for the birds and the birds. Ooh, birds. I see a disasters, but I've got more birds than disasters, so I'm going birds. All right, here it comes. Everybody ready? Let's rock and roll. The first 4-letter bird. Let's see if I got it. Let's by the decade, and I marked all my little pages. Hold on. Okay, 4-letter birds. First question. What slow flying duck-like bird sounds like it might be some crotchety old guy? What slow flying duck-like bird sounds like it might be some crotchety old guy? SJ Lola has it. You old coot. Yes, coot is correct. Tammy also has coot. So does Donna. So does Gordon. So does Cameo. So does John. SJ for the win, says Deidre. Well done. Okay, so now you kind of get how this is going. Number 2. Is it a chess piece? A card game? No, it's what member of the Crow family? Is it a chess piece? A card game? No, it's what member of the Crow family? Deidre says rook, and Deidre is correct. Well done. First on my screen, followed by Cameo. And John Watson has rook. So does Agent Kitty Feets. SJ Lola has it. Jane. Rook, says Donna. Yes. Rook, says Eileen. You are correct, my friend. Gordon, who said he wasn't going to get any right, has it now. Well, you said you'd get 2 right. Well, this is one of your 2. I think you'll get more than that, though. Luis has it. I know you meant rook. I got you. John Slade says rook. Yep. Beautiful. We don't have those here, says Glenn, in Australia. Well done. Okay. Next question. What bird is the official state of Minnesota, or the official state bird of Minnesota, and also depicted on the Canadian $1 coin? What bird is the official state bird of Minnesota and also depicted on the Canadian $1 coin? And that would be, see who gets it right. Donna first to the punch with loon. That is correct. That is the loon. Well done, Donna. John Watson has it too. So does Uncle Jim. Hi, Uncle Jim. Welcome in. Jane O has it. So does SJ and Ren. Agent Kitty. Nancy, Tammy. A blue loon, says Cameo. Luis, yes. Eileen, yes. Gordon, yes. 2 in a row. Look at you go. Well done. We will get to another category. No worries. A few more of these. Okay. Next one. Birds of this sort are believed to have vision as good as 20/2, about 8 times more accurate than humans with good eyesight. What is the bird? And remember, these are all 4-letter birds. Birds of this sort are believed to have vision as good as 20/2, about 8 times more accurate than humans with good eyesight. What is the bird? Look at you guys go. Agent Kitty Feets first to the punch with hawk. And that is correct. Hawks have great eyesight. Heather has hawk. Uncle Jim has hawk. Eileen has hawk. So does Jane O. Donna. Ren has it. So does Nullifidian. And Gordon, 3 in a row, friend. Nancy has it. So does John. SJ. Yvonne says, I saw a hawk dive down and grab a squirrel right off West Cliff Drive at Seabright Beach. Nature right in front of our face. Daisy, Daphne, Donald, or Aflac? Need we say more? What is the bird? Daisy, Daphne, Donald, or Aflac? Need we say more? What be the bird? This one, everyone's going to get this one, right? Uncle Jim says duck. Yep. Duck says wren. And John. And Eileen has it. And so does Cameo and Deidre and SJ. Donna has it. Tammy, Jane O. Sandy has it. Wes, Ducky. Gordon has it. So does Nancy and Nullifidian. Hope you had a great birthday, Nullifidian. That was an easy one. See? Okay. Next question. Her song, All I Want to Do, was an unexpected smash hit in 1994. She has the same last name as what jackdaw relative? Her song, All I Want to Do, was an unexpected smash hit in 1994. She has the same last name as what jackdaw relative? All I want to do, I got a feeling. Yep. Crow, Sheryl Crow. Agent Kitty Feets has Crow. That is correct. SJ Lola has it. So does Deidre. So does Sandy. Look at Sandy. Do you see? Know more about birds than you think. Hello, Luis. Luis has got it. This doesn't sound good. Whatever Yvonne has going on, I don't know. Nancy has it. Cameo has it. Ren has it. Jane O. John, Donna, Tammy's on it. Glenn knew it. So did John. Well done. Next question. Charles Darwin also called it a noddy, Noddy, said it was often so tame as to seem stupid, but this graceful seabird doesn't have to pay rent, an anagram of its name. Charles Darwin called it a noddy, said it was often so tame it seemed stupid, but this graceful seabird doesn't have to pay rent, which is an anagram of its name, which kind of gives the whole thing away because it is a... Yeah, what do you have? Who's got the first one? Uncle Jim has it. It's a tern. Agent Kitty Feets has it. So does Ren. So does John. So does Donna Nullifidian. So does SJ. Well done. Okay, next question. It's a Studebaker compact model or a small terrestrial bird with an extravagant song and display flight. Shelley wrote a poem to a blithe spirit member of this species. What's the bird? It's a Studebaker compact model or a small terrestrial bird with an extravagant song and display flight. Shelley wrote a poem to blithe spirit member of this species. What is the bird? This would be a lark, says Glenn. Glenn, first to the punch on a lark. Yes. Heather's got it. So does Cameo. SJ has it. Nancy has it. So does Donna. What the sizzle? Lark. Good job. Next question. What perky bird shares its name with the architect of London's St. Paul's Cathedral? What perky bird shares its name with the architect of London's St. Paul Cathedral? Yeah. We have our very own one of these. Who's first to the punch? It is Uncle Jim, and he's on Ren. That's right. Ren is the answer. SJ Lola says it's Ren. Eileen says it's Ren. John Watson says it's Ren. I can't wait to say Ren says it's Ren. Donna says it's Ren. So does Nancy and John and Agent Kitty Feets. And there it is. Ren says it's Ren. Yes. Thank you. That made my day. It's the little things in life. Teacher Lori has Ren. Yay, Ren, says Glenn. That kind of rhymed. Okay, next question. What long-winged raptor's name is a word often associated with Benjamin Franklin? What long-winged raptor's name is a word often associated with Benjamin Franklin? Uncle Jim says kite. That's right. SJ Lola has kite. So does Eileen. So does Gordon. So does Jane O. So does Nancy. And What the Sizzle. And Ren. And Glenn. And Donna. Teacher Lori has it as well. A kite is a bird. I did not know that. Yes. Kite is a bird. I'll show you what it looks like. Kind of a cool looking bird. It looks rather eagle-ish. This is a kite. Just in case you're interested. Oops. I'll take my trivia screen down. Hold on. Here's what a kite looks like. All this for this. Here it is. That's a kite. Doesn't that look kind of eagle-ish? Yeah, I think so. There's some pictures of a kite. Look at those eyes. That's amazing. You see that? Look at that. That is a kite. All right, we're getting to the end of our bird questions on Trivia Thursday. And here we go. Did I get everybody who had the answers right? I hope I did. If I messed that up, I'm sorry. Okay. This next one is the last one. This bird is an anagram of a 1980s American new wave group. But enough about music. What's the bird? It is a pigeon relative. This bird is an anagram of a 1980s American new wave group. And the answer is, yeah, I see some. Tammy says dove. Is Tammy first to the punch on that? Yeah, Tammy got it. So did Cameo, Donna, and of course the anagram is Devo, right? Ren has it. Agent Kitty Fates has dove. Flock of Seagulls. That's where I would have gone. SJ Lola has dove. So does Jane. So does Sandy. So does John. Gordon has it as well. Gordon's way more than two. Teacher Lori has it. Yeah, Devo. Chris has the anagram. Okay. Pigeon was my hint, said Teacher Lori. All right, here we go. We're done with our birds. And now we're moving on to either by the decade or major disasters. What do you guys think? By the decades or disasters? The world's worst disasters, or 1900s by the decade? Disasters. Disasters. Disaster, disaster, disaster. Looks like an informal vote gets the disasters. Some of these are easy. We start easy and then we go, yeah, a lot of people said disasters. Okay, disasters it is. Oh, there's a decade. We're going disasters. Here we go. Okay. I'll leave that there. The world's worst disasters. Question number 1. How many voyages had the Titanic, the world's largest and supposedly safest passenger liner, taken before it collided with an iceberg and sank in 1912? How many voyages had the Titanic, the world's largest and supposedly safest passenger liner, taken before it collided with an iceberg and sank in 1912? I think most of us know this one, right? Don't we? I think so. And yeah, everybody's got this one. This was the maiden voyage. It had no voyages before because this was its very, very first voyage. And let's see who gets it first. Chris Holm says 0. It had taken 0 voyages before this. That's correct. Chris has it. Deidre has it. Uncle Jim has it. Well, when you say it's this first voyage, it had technically the answer is 0, but I'll accept 1 because you're saying it's on its first voyage, so I get that. Can 0, but I know what you're trying to say, and I think you're both right. So I'll give it to you, Nullifidian, as well. Jane O says, yeah, this was its first voyage. Wes says it had taken 0 before this. Correct. 0 says SJ Lola. 0 says Agent Kitty Feets. That's correct. 0 says Donna. None says What the Sizzle. Tammy has it. John has it. Ren has it. Eileen, I know what you mean. Yeah. None says John. That's correct. Sandy, Glenn, Nancy, Teacher Lori. I think everyone pretty much has this one. Okay. The next question on the world's worst disasters. Margaret Brown survived and rescued others to become a heroine of the Titanic. Name the Broadway musical based on her story. Her name was Margaret Brown, and she survived it, rescued others, and became the heroine of the Titanic. Name the Broadway musical based on her story. You guys know this one? You do. Oh, did I cut out? Can you hopefully you can hear me. Unsinkable Molly Brown. Ren has it. That is correct. It is the Unsinkable Molly Brown. SJ Lola has it. I'm going to give it to What the Sizzle. Sandy has it. Yes. Unsinkable Molly says Cameo. That's correct. Donna has it. John has it. So does Uncle Jim. Eileen. I've not seen that show. Unsinkable Molly Brown says Wes. Correct. Rhonda has it. So does Tammy. Love that film, says Maud. Nullifidian has it. I'll have to watch it. It's a movie too. Teacher Lori has it. Nice. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm back. Sorry about cutting out there. It looks like everyone got the question, so that's good. The movie with Debbie Reynolds is good. Okay, I have to seek that out. The next question. In 1937, after a transatlantic flight from Frankfurt, the Hindenburg was destroyed by fire while landing in New Jersey. What type of aircraft was the Hindenburg? What type of aircraft was the Hindenburg? It was a... Now, there's probably more than one answer to this, but I will tell you the answer that they're looking for is the answer that Deidre provided, which is oh, no, sorry, my bad. It is the answer that Uncle Jim provided. It's a Zeppelin. That's what they're looking for. But I think that isn't a Zeppelin the same as a dirigible or a blimp? In my liberal, benevolent trivia state, I'm going to give it to everybody. Chris Holm has it. SJ has it. Airship. Sure, Cameo, you bet. Deidre has it. Uncle Jim has it in the most correct of ways. Agent Kitty Feets has it. So does Sandy and Ren and Tammy. Blimp, says Nancy. Yes, so does Donna. Dirigible. Blimp, says What the Sizzle. Zeppelin, says Glenn B63. Yes, it is a Zeppelin. That's right. Everyone has it. Eileen and John and Nullifidian. They're all the same thing, right? Blimps and dirigibles and Zeppelins. I think they are. Dirigible with helium. Very specific from Teacher Lori. Thank you. It was the paint that caught fire. Was it? Oh, no, says Chris. Blimps have no skeleton. Well, this was a Zeppelin. Blimps are smaller, says Cameo. Zeppelins are rigid, says John Watson. I'm impressed by your blimp versus Zeppelin knowledge. It went over like a lead Zeppelin. A blimp and dirigible are not the same thing, but I think a Zeppelin and a dirigible are the same. There is a difference. All right. Well then, The answer is Zeppelin. I was being liberal. Apparently, there's a difference. Who got it right? I think Uncle Jim had it right first, right? Yeah, there it is. Zeppelin, he said. All right, moving forward in our natural disaster trivia contest. During World War II, which attack sank more United States ships and caused the most damage to the war effort? The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor or Nazi U boat attacks near the coast of New Jersey? This is during World War II. Which attack sank more United States ships and caused the most damage to the war effort? Was it the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor or Nazi U boat attacks near the coast of New Jersey? And the answer is, what do you got? Maybe because it's more publicized, or we know about it more. I would have said Pearl Harbor for sure with the sizzle. But the answer is what Chris says. It's the U-boats. Here's the answer. The U-boat attacks between January and the summer of 1942, they sank 82 ships and 500,000 tons of cargo with these U-boat attacks. So Chris says U-boats, and that is correct. Donna says U-boats. That's right. Rev P has it as well. Uncle Jim has it. Cameo has it. Nazis in general. SJ Lola has it. So does Gordon. So does Teacher Lori. I would have said Pearl Harbor, so I'm with you. John has it. Pearl Harbor has it. I think it was the Japanese that attacked Pearl Harbor, right? Yeah. I didn't think it was a trick question. There were two options. I don't know. You can tour, says Donna, a U-boat in Chicago captured in the Great Lakes. I did not know of that. Interesting. All right, next question. Here we go. Back to our disaster roundup. What sunken Great Lake freighter nicknamed the Fitz was memorialized in a hit song by Gordon Lightfoot? What sunken Great Lake freighter nicknamed the Fitz, F-I-T-Z, was memorialized in a hit song by Gordon Lightfoot? And the answer is, oh, you guys all knew this one, huh? Yep. The Edmund Fitzgerald, says Chris, and that is correct. Edmund, says Cameo. Yes. Edmund Fitzgerald, says Deidre. Correct. Uncle Jim has it. Ren has it. So does SJ Lola and Sandy and Eileen. Nullifidian's on it. So is Donna. So is John. So is Tammy. Teacher Lori has it. Yep. Edmund Fitzgerald, says Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. Okay, next question. Here we go. Ontario's Highway 401 is the site of Canada's deadliest automobile pileup. Within 10, how many vehicles were involved? This again was in Ontario along Highway 401. This is where Canada's deadliest automobile pileup occurred. Within, give or take 10, how many vehicles were involved in this massive pileup? I've got 100, 30, 45, 203, 290, 100, 11,780. And again, Glenn, it's on the tip of his tongue. He knows it. 48, says Mama. John Watson says 67. I think John Watson might have come the closest so far. Who else? The answer is 87. 87 car pileup. That's a pileup. Wow. Well done, John Watson. Next question. Only 4 people of 524 passengers and crew survived the deadliest single aircraft crash in history when Flight 123 passengers and crew survived the deadliest single aircraft crash in history when Flight 123 crashed into a mountain in 1985. Name the airline. And that would be... Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Where's Kim? I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, I cut out again? Yikes. Do I need to ask the question again? I don't know what's going on with my internet connection today. My little light's green. It shows that it's blinking. I'm sorry, you guys. How annoying is that? Keeps cutting out, says Chris. Damn it. All right. Well, it looks like you heard the question. I got a TWA, a United, a TWA, an American, a Continental, a TWA. We did hear the question, says Deidre. Thank you for that. A Pan Am. Rev says I'm wrong. Deidre and Nancy got the closer number. My bad if I swindled you out of the winning prize. My apologies. Congratulations, Deidre and Nancy. And thank you, Rev, for the correction. TWA, somewhere in South America, Pan Am. Okay, so this is the question. Only 4 people of 524 passengers and crew survived the deadliest... Sorry, only 4 people out of 524 passengers and crew survived the deadliest single aircraft crash in history when Flight 123 crashed into a mountain in 1985. The name of the airline is Japan Airlines. That was Japan Airlines. All right. Next question. In Sri Lanka, about 17,000 people died in the world's worst known railway disaster. What natural phenomenon was to blame? This happened in Sri Lanka, where about 17,000 people died in the world's worst known railway disaster. What natural phenomenon was to blame? Can you believe that many people died? That's crazy. I have to go look up this story. Oh, man. Chris Holmes says it was a tsunami, and that is correct. This was a tsunami that took out this railway. Tsunami, says Chris Holm. That is correct. Tsunami, says Deidre. Yes. John Watson says tsunami. So does Mama. Hi, Mama. Agent Kitty Feeds for the win. Tsunami, says Nolaphidian. Ren has it. Teacher Lori has it. Yes. This is kind of dark. Yes, it is. You guys picked it. I don't know. When another train collided with a Cannonball Express, its engineer died trying to save the lives of others. A ballad sung in vaudeville theaters made his name a legend. Who was he? When another train collided with a Cannonball Express, its engineer died trying to save the lives of others. There's a ballad sung in vaudeville theaters which made his name a legend. Who was he? If anybody knows this. Oh, you do know it. Look at you guys. Crazy. His name was Casey Jones. Donna has Casey. So does John Watson. And Tammy and Sandy has it. Uncle Jim knows it. So does SJ Lola. I totally had no idea on this one. This is a good guess. Wow. I'm super impressed by you guys. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. All right. This is the last question. What is the title of the airline disaster spoof with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in one of his few movie roles that became a cinema comedy classic in 1980? The title of this airline disaster spoof with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it became a cinema comedy classic in 1980. And the answer, everybody has it, is Airplane. Chris has it. Well done. Donna has it. Cameo, Rev P, Eileen, What the Sizzle, John Watson, Agent Kitty, Ren has it, so does Nolaphidian and John Slade, and Nancy has it, so does SJ Lola and Rhonda, Uncle Jim. Yep. Ren, Sandy, well done. And Glenn throwing in a couple. Thank you, Glenn. $2 Australian. Thank you for that contribution today. And SJ Lola with 25, in memory of our sweet little beagle who lost her battle with lymphoma Tuesday. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear it, SJ Lola. Oh, man. Thank you for the diversion. Thank you for being here and playing, and thank you for the contribution. I'm really sorry to hear about your little pup. It's so hard on the heart when that happens. See, we love them so much. It's not fair they don't get to live that long. Thank you for the contribution, and I want to give you a hug. I'm giving you a hug in my heart. All right, speaking of diversion, I'll ask you just a couple of questions from the forgotten category, the one we didn't get to, by the decade. You guys ready for this one? All right. How about this? You have to say, I think you have to say the decade. Let me just make sure that's the way this goes. Oh, no. They're actually answers. Okay. What island chain became a United States territory on February 22nd of the year 1900, but waited another 59 years to become a state? That one's super easy, but we need to start easy sometimes, right? What do you got? Yeah. It is Hawaii. Agent Kitty Feets has it first, followed by Chris and Nullifidian and Wes and Cameo and Vanessa and SJ and Sandy and Tammy and Ren and Uncle Jim and John and Rhonda. Aloha to you, and aloha to you, Rev, and John Slade, and Teacher Lori. Okay, next question. Often called the greatest American athlete, this Native American won 2 Olympic gold medals in 1912 before going on to play professional football, baseball, and basketball. Name this man, who was also the first president of what became the National Football League. Talk about accomplished. Often called the greatest American athlete, this is a Native American who won 2 Olympic gold medals in 1912, went on to play professional football, baseball, and basketball, was also the first president of the NFL. And this man's name was, I bet everybody knows it. Yep. First person is Nullifidian with Thorpe. Nullifidian's on fire today. Thorpe is correct, followed by John Watson. Jim Thorpe says John Slade. That's right. Eileen has it. SJ Lola. So does Donna. Uncle Jim. What the Sizz. Luis has it. Dude sounds lazy. Right? Okay, next question. After this founding member of the renowned Algonquin Round Table was fired from Vanity Fair in 1920 because her criticism was too critical, colleagues Robert Benchley and Robert Sherwood quit in protest. Who was this lady known for her sharp tongue? Who was this lady known for her sharp tongue? You guys got it. I don't even think I need to read the question again. SJ Lola says that would be Dorothy Parker. That's correct. Dorothy Parker is right. Donna Holm has it. John Watson has it. Eileen has it. Uncle Jim has Dorothy Parker. So does Teacher Lori. So does Parker Posey. Wait, wrong Parker. Next question. Classics, including Gone with the Wind, Stagecoach, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and The Wizard of Oz, were all released during this most spectacular year in film. Oh, we know Tim Sika would get this one. Classics like Gone with the Wind, Stagecoach, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, The Wizard of Oz, all released during this most spectacular year in film. And that would be, you knew it, 1939. Donna, first to the punch. Well done. Followed by Yvonne and Eileen and Ren. Noliphidian, Vanessa has it, so does Cameo has it. Everybody knows it. Sandy and What the Sizzle and SJ Lola. Oh, you meant 1939, right? 1939, John Watson. That's the year my mom was born, says Yvonne. Aw. Uncle Jim, 1939. Nancy, Teacher Lori. I'll never be hungry again. Okay, next one. I'll do one or two more. What? Oh, we already knew this. It's really easy, but I'll ask it anyway. What Allied general and future U.S. president commanded the D-Day invasion of France on June 6th of 1944? D-Day. It's my birthday. What Allied general and future U.S. president commanded the D-Day invasion of France on June 6th of 1944? And that would be what? You guys knew it. Eisenhower is correct. And it looks like so many people got this one. Chris, you appear first on my screen. Well done. Then Donna, then Cameo, then Noliphidian, then John Watson and John Slade and Ren. Eileen, What the Sizz. Tammy has it. Deidre has it. Uncle Jim, Vanessa, Nancy. Glenn has it. So does Teacher Lori. Can't type his name, says Rev. Okay, next one. The Soviets answer to NATO. This organization held its first meeting in 1955. What is this organization's name? It is the Soviets' answer to NATO. This organization held its first meeting in 1955. What is the name of this organization? Uncle Jim. Oh, sorry. Chris. I think Chris is first to the punch on this one. The Warsaw Pact, says Chris, and that is correct. Good job, Chris. Good job, Uncle Jim. And John Slade. And SJ. And Luis. And Teacher Lori has it. The Warsaw Pact. Oops. The Mickey Mouse Club. Yep. Chris and Uncle Jim fighting for first, says Yvonne. Okay. Next question. To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee's 1960s Southern coming-of-age novel, featured this young girl as its heroine. To Kill a Mockingbird, 1960, Harper Lee, Southern coming-of-age novel, featured this young girl as its heroine. Does anybody know? Oh, you do. Eileen has it. Scout. The full answer is Jean Louise Scout Finch. She goes by Scout. I will accept it. Eileen has Scout. So does Uncle Jim and SJ and Rev. Am I getting booed? I think so. Ren has it, and Tammy has it, and John Slade has it, and Rhonda has it, and Teacher Lori has it, and so does John and Jane. Oh, Boo Radley was the scary guy. Okay. I thought I was getting booed. Don't want that. Okay, I'll just call it an enthusiastic response, right? Born in England in 1978, Louise Brown is best known for being what kind of medical miracle? Born in England, 1978, Louise Brown is best known for being what kind of medical miracle? You guys are so smart. You got it. She is the first test tube baby. Donna knew it. Yay, Donna. SJ Lola knew it. So did Uncle Jim and Eileen. I guess you could call it IVF, right? Oh, she was created in a test tube, and then they had to put her in a uterus. So I'm thinking IVF is right. Test tube baby, says Deidre. Correct. Chris is correct. Toast Tammy and Rev P, Nullifidian and Glenn, and Ren and Gordon. I don't think she was cloned. I don't know. First in vitro, says Teacher Lori. Yeah. Nancy has it. Right on. Okay, and I'll just do one more. Oh, there's two more. There's two more questions on the page, so I'll just wrap it up. The first months of 1986 were dramatic for the superpower space programs. What were two events of this sad and exciting year? First 2 months of 1986, dramatic for the superpowers space programs. What were two events of this sad and also exciting year? Give you a moment to answer. Am I cutting out again? Darn it. All right, I'll wrap it up here then. Yeah, it looks like you guys, a lot of you have it. So the answer is the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion on January 28th of 1986 and the launch of the Soviet space station Mir, February 19th of 1986. So it was the Challenger and the Mir. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I'll go back to what we have here. Shuttle explosion, says Yvonne. Yep. Shuttle exploded. Challenger. That's Deidre and Donna and Rev P and Chris. And what the sizzle. Uncle Jim says I'm cutting out again. Damn it. Agent Kitty Feets. Yep. Paulo. Challenger explosion. Yes, Ren. And Eileen and SJ. Wes says Challenger. Cameo. Yeah, that's okay. At least you guys knew that one. And then the very last question, I'll throw it out. Who became the first female United States Secretary of State, January 23rd of 1997? Who became the first female United States Secretary of State, January 23rd of 1997? Give you a moment to type. That would be Madeleine Albright. S.J. Lola had it. Madeleine Albright is the correct answer. Rev P got it. S.J. Lola had it, and then followed by Rev P and John Watson and Ren and Vanessa. Eileen had it. So did Cameo. So did Yvonne. I'll give it to Heather and Teacher Lori. Well done. And thus we have our Trivia Thursday after party style, and huge apologies for the cutting in and out. I'm really, really sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. I know it's hot out there, 98 in Santa Rosa right now, according to Cameo at the beginning of the show. Whew. Yeah, got a little heat wave going on here. Wow. So stay inside, stay cool, drink lots of water. Tonight, the Nikki Maduro Show at 5 p.m. Pacific will get underway. The Nikki Maduro Show, Medoro, right here on YouTube, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is cocktails and mocktails and politics, and it is so much fun. I do hope that you will join us. Please set the alarm on your phone and hang out with us for an hour and a half or so. That's the Nikki Maduro Show tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific. And please vote. Thank you for doing that. If you could click the like button on the way out, I appreciate that as well. And thank you to everyone who has contributed to the After Party Live, who makes this show what it is, from contributing ideas, the lovely emails that are sent, and then, of course, the financial contributions that keep this show rolling. Really, really appreciate that. The latest contributions include Wes, who throws down a contribution today on the show PayPal. Also, James S. with a recurring monthly PayPal contribution. Wes from yesterday, Delette with her monthly contribution. Chris H. and Donna too, I would say, with a monthly contribution. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Thank you to those who have contributed via Super Chat, Super Sticker, and that includes SJ Lola today. Our hearts go out to you, and send you a huge hug. And then Glenn from Australia. Thank you for the exotic Australian dollars. Appreciate that too. All right, everyone. I'll see you in just a couple hours at Nikki's show. Until we meet again, have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.